Howdy, folks. It's Howie here. Howie the Holiday Cat, also known as Howard T. Cat. And we're going to look at Charlie Brown's Christmas book, the special Hallmark edition. That probably means, you spend a few dollars at the Hallmark store, you got the book or something of that nature. That happens a lot at Christmas. Stuffed animals and whatnot. Macy's and all that get away. So, they don't give it away. They say if you buy whatever. You buy $20 worth of ornaments, you get this for $5. I don't know. It'd be a gift. It says there, Charlie Brown Christmas Tree by Charles M. Schultz. Dun, 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 dun. There's the Charlie Brown tree. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to have to do that as well, right, I guess? Dun, dun, dun. Everyone knows that part. Christmas time was here. The time when snowflakes fell softly on the sound of carols. No, Christmas was here. The time when snowflakes fell softly and the sound of carols rang through the air. It was a time filled with happiness, and for children everywhere, it was their favorite time of the year. There they are, scooting and skating, and they're all just having a good old time. There's Snoop Dogg. There's Charlie Brown and Linus chit-chatting on the fence. But one little boy wasn't feeling very excited about Christmas. I just don't understand Christmas, Charlie Brown. As this light snow began to fall, I might be getting presents, sending Christmas cards, and decorating trees, but I'm still not happy. I always end up feeling depressed. You're the only person I know that can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem. Linus replied, Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest. Whoa, look what happened to Charlie Brown. At the local skating pond, the boys found their friends playing around to crack the whip. Snoopy grabbed Linus's blanket to drag him onto the ice, but he caught Charlie Brown in it and sent him flying into the snowbank. Charlie Brown wasn't surprised. Things like that always happened to him. And the holiday season, when he didn't get cards and even his own dog ignored him, only made it more obvious. He needed someone to talk to. There's our Charlie Brown. Psychiatric help, 5 cents, the doctor is in. We've seen that many a time. That's a fun standard from Charlie Brown. Lucy dashed over to her tour booth to meet Charlie Brown. May I help you? She asked. I'm in sad shape, Charlie Brown replied with a sigh. My trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down. Lucy knew just how to fix Charlie Brown's problem. You need to get involved in a Christmas project, she declared. How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play? Me? But I don't know anything about directing a Christmas play, Charlie Brown fretted. Don't worry, I'll be there to help you, Lucy said. I'll meet you at the auditorium. Do you trust Lucy? I don't trust Lucy. No one should. And there we have Snoopy putting up some lights on his tree, and Charlie's reading a paper. Just then, Snoopy walked past carrying a box filled with decorations. Charlie Brown followed Snoopy back to his doghouse. What's going on here? Charlie Brown asked Snoopy. What's going on here? Charlie Brown asked. I'm really doing bad here. Snoopy handed him a flyer, and Charlie Brown read, "Find the true meaning of Christmas. Win money, money, money at the spectacular super colossal lights and display contest." "Oh no, my own dog has gone commercial. I can't stand it." Charlie Brown threw the flyer on the ground. Charlie Brown is a litter bug. You know, we learned that. On his way to the auditorium, he ran into his sister, Sally. "I've been looking for you, big brother," she said sweetly. "Will you please write a letter to Santa Claus for me?" Sally knew exactly what she wanted, but her list was so long, she decided it would be easier to ask for money. "How about 10s and 20s, she suggested. "10s and 20s? I'm my baby sister." Charlie Brown groaned. Surely Christmas was about more than money and presents. There's one of our more famous scene types. So everybody dancing around Schroeder on the piano, and there's Pigpen, and look at them all go. In the auditorium, the whole Peanuts gang danced to a jazzy tune that Schroeder played on the piano. Charlie Brown walked onto the stage. "Let's get right down to work," he said. "It's important that you pay strict attention to the director. Am I right?" I said, "Am I right?" But no one paid any attention to Charlie Brown. They had started dancing again. And it's that that song they play. They dance and they do that weird head bop, and it's what they do. If you've seen a Charlie Brown, you know that. You do. "Stop the music," Charlie Brown yelled. "We're going to do this play, and we're going to do it right. Lucy, pass out those scripts and costumes." One by one, the kids found their roles in the play. Frida would play the innkeeper's wife. Pigpen would play the innkeeper. Shermie would play the shepherd. And Snoopy would play all the animals in the script, and even some that weren't. Snoopy's so perplexed by all the animals he's playing, and some that even aren't in there. He's going to play a butterfly or something. There they are talking about it, and there's all the characters. "Let's rehearse the scene at the end," directed Charlie Brown. "Let's take it from the top. Places, action." But once more, the kids started dancing and fooling around. Charlie Brown rolled his eyes. Good grief. It's all happy, dancy kids. That can't be Christmas. They have to talk about things. That does it, Charlie Brown exclaimed. "If we're ever going to get this play off the ground, we've got to have some cooperation." "Let's face it," replied Lucy. "We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket. This is one play that's not going to be commercial," Charlie Brown insisted. "We need the proper mood. We need a Christmas tree." There they are, fussing and fighting and being... Okay. And we're back to the stage and they're leaving. Lucy nodded excitedly. "A great big shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's it, Charlie Brown. You get the tree. I'll handle the crowd." "Okay, I'll take Linus with me. The rest of you practice your lines," Charlie Brown said firmly. "Get the biggest aluminum tree you can find, Charlie Brown," called Lucy. "Yeah, do something right for a change, Charlie Brown," added Peppermint Patty as the boys walked into the cold winter night. The Christmas tree lot. They followed a set of gleaming, spotless... They They followed a set of gleaming spotlights to a Christmas tree lot. It was filled with shiny metal trees, polka dotted trees, and trees in every color of the rainbow. Clank, 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 Linus knocked on one of the metal trees. Gee, do they even still make wooden Christmas trees? Asked Linus. He didn't see anything like that in the Christmas tree lot. Thinking of real trees, yes, of course, real trees, they do grow. They don't make them. I'm mumbling. There's Charlie and Linus in a tree. Then Charlie Brown spotted a small, scraggly pine tree. It had a wooden trunk and soft green needles. This little green one here seems to need a good home, he said excitedly. I don't know, Charlie Brown, Linus said. Remember what Lucy said? This doesn't seem to fit the modern spirit. I don't care, said Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown insisted. We'll decorate it and it will be just right for our play. Besides, I think it needs me. Soon, Charlie Brown and Linus walked onto the stage. We're back, Charlie Brown announced as he set the tree on the top of Schroeder's piano. When the kids rushed over to see the tree, their mouths dropped in shock. That scraggly little tree was not what they expected. You were supposed to get a good tree. Can't you even tell a good tree from a poor tree? Lucy asked. You're hopeless, Charlie Brown, added Peppermint Patty. And I thought these people were all friends. They're not. Charlie Brown sighed. I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? He exclaimed. Sure, Charlie Brown, replied Linus. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Linus crossed to the center of the stage. The lights dimmed and a spotlight shone down on him. And there were shepherds in the field. Yeah, that's right. And there were shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. The angel came and said, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. For unto you is born this day a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. Ye shall find the babe wrapping in swaddling, clothes lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel and multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and of earth peace, goodwill toward men. Everyone was silent when Linus finished. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown, he finally said. Charlie Brown picked up the tree and walked outside. He stared at the night sky. Linus is right, he said. I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take this little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work in our play. When he passed Snoopy's doghouse, Charlie Brown put a shiny red ornament off the doghouse and proudly hung it on a tree. But the tiny tree buckled under the weight of the ornament. A look of horror crossed Charlie Brown's face. I've killed it. Oh, everything I touch gets all ruined. His head hung in defeat. Charlie Brown sadly walked away. There it is, all droopy-doo with the ornament on it. Then the rest of the Peanuts gang arrived. I never thought it was such a bad little tree, Linus said. He straightened the tree's bent trunk and wrapped his blanket around his face. It's not bad at all. It really It just needs a little love. Without speaking, the other kids took the lights and ornaments off Snoopy's doghouse and used them to decorate. Before their very eyes, it transformed into a beautiful Christmas tree. There it is, and look at what it did with just some ornaments. Got all that green. Charlie Brown walked to the group and barely recognized the tree. "What's going on here?" he exclaimed. "Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown," the kids exclaimed, and together gathered around the beautiful Christmas tree, and they all began to sing. They began to sing. I'm gonna have to sing. It's gonna happen. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinner reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies, with angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Yeah, that's right. You got another Howie Cat singing and reading. And thank you, folks. Merry Christmas.